guys, what's up? Today, we're going to talk about EDC. I was going to say something else, but then I didn't, so we're just going to roll with it. That was really cheesy. We're going to talk about EDC. It's 2021, so every year, pretty much for the last year. Right? No, this okay. Enough dad jokes. I think I've been doing this for a couple years, where I just go over the EDC kind of at the beginning of the year, what I got, and then next year we'll kind of figure out where we went with it. Did we change anything? Did we move anything out? I don't remember exactly what I've changed since last year, but I can tell you it's pretty much stayed generally the same, all right? So we'll go from top to bottom. I wear hats most of the time just because I like to wear hats, and that's my business. Shirts and stuff, I try to stay away from, you know, big, gaudy, like, you know, I protect myself with the Second Amendment and don't tread on me or else you'll find out why. I'm not trying to antagonize people. I'm not trying to be provocative. I'll wear shirts like this because, yes, I went to this school and I kind of try to rep my school some a little bit. I like my school. But in general, I'll stay away from big, like, bold, antagonistic things, all right? Well, I like the gray man idea, but then I wear big, flashy stuff sometimes. So anyway, probably discredited myself there a little bit, but let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about tech stuff. I'm not really a tech guy, right? I don't like Android because, I don't know, I like to get apps and different things that are gonna work and that just are simple. I don't program stuff. Even on these YouTube videos and stuff, I've spent most of my time, most of it, except for this last year, I actually got a camera. Hopefully this is a little bit better setup. But most of the time I just use my iPhone to make my videos. That's what I need to change my my intro video to like my channel. If you go actually to my channel and see my first intro video thingy, it says I still use an iPhone. That's not true anymore. I don't use my iPhone anymore. But talking about Apple stuff, I am an Apple guy just because I find it simple. I know that's controversial. I know some guys are gonna be like, that's terrible and Apple is horrible and they're stealing all of our information, and they are. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But that being said, I do wear an Apple Watch just because I like it. It's simple. It does what it needs to do for me. I carry a iPhone because, again, works for me, does what it needs to do. If I need to take pictures, it takes pretty stinking good pictures, right? If I need to take a video of something, if I'm out, whatever, it takes pretty stinking good videos of stuff. I got to be honest. I just kind of like it. I don't like the fact that the storage on it is garbage. I wish it was better, and the fact that you could take a video and then it's going to take you about 3 hours to upload it to a computer, I don't really like that, especially if it's like a Mac. It used to be really fast and they changed software, so there are downsides to it, right? I wish it had, you know, an SD card, stuff like that. Doesn't. So there's downsides to all this stuff, but that's what I have and that's what I carry. Moving on, keeping the Apple trend, I do use the Apple AirPro Pods, whatever, the fancy new ones that they came out with a couple years ago or last year, whenever it was. I literally wore out my last earbuds, I don't remember what they're supposed to be called. Not the Pros, these are the Pros, the other ones weren't, but I literally wore them out because I used them enough that the batteries literally just like died. They didn't work anymore, especially the right one, because I usually use the right one, so that I have to be using the left one all the time. And it even started only lasting for like 20 minutes, and then it was kaputs. So that guy finally, I got my money's worth out of it, honestly. I had those things for years, and I used it a lot. I do like these guys. They are like 250 bucks, guys. This is not cheap. And they don't work very well for like Ear Pro if you're shooting. They're not advertised for that. If you're shooting suppress and you put these in, it'd be fine, but suppress should be fine anyway. A little bit loud for that, but for everything else, they're pretty stinking. They're a lot better. So that's my techie stuff. We'll put that away. I'm not a big tech guy. So anyway, moving on. I don't remember what kind of belt this is. I'm going to throw it in here somewhere. I should have looked it up beforehand. Having a good belt is very, very, very important. Okay. I don't carry a whole bunch of stuff, right? I've only got my gun is the only thing that's actually like attached to the belt besides my pants. And okay, so I don't carry a whole bunch of stuff, but some guys out there are carrying a whole bunch of stuff, like tons of stuff. If you don't have a good belt, like those flimsy little convenience store belts or Walmart belts, Amazon belts, whatever, the flimsy little ones, they're not going to hold things up very well. So get a good belt. I think, again, I'm going to throw this name in there somewhere so you see what belt this is. It just works for me. It's not a cheap belt, but I've had this thing for a long time, generally a long time, at least a year, maybe 2 years, whatever. I wear it all the time. I wear it at church, I wear it out, I wear it wherever it works, it does what it needs to do. All right, let's start. Wallet is just a wallet. The only reason this guy is a little bit fatter and I don't go to one of these skinnier, like, you know, minimalist wallets is I still carry my badge. I'm just a what you want to call sentimentalist, right? I just hold on to my past, I guess. And so those little skinny wallets don't really let me carry my badge with me. So I don't use it to try to get stuff, right? So I'm not impersonating an officer or anything like that. That is my badge. I like to carry it, so that goes in there. In my other pocket, I carry my flashlight. Now, I need to do a video on these guys because I've had them for a while. And I gotta be honest with you guys, these are pretty good. These Sofren lights, they're Chinese. I know, I'm sorry. A lot of stuff's made in China anyway, even the big name stuff. A lot of it, they source parts and stuff from there. But this is a Sofren SP31V 2.0. This little light, for me personally, it does a better job as an EDC light than my Surefire Tactician, which I bought, I still have, and I tried to like it, right? So it does better than that. And I don't remember the exact models, but my Streamlight HLX, and I had another one or two in there that use different batteries and stuff. But this guy, he just works better. For me, as an EDC light, he works better, okay? Just gotta be real with you there a little bit. Gotta be real. It works better. And what is it so much that it works better about? Well, the Tactician had a very wide beam, which is good. That's what it was designed for. It was nice and bright. It's good. That's good. But it didn't have a clicky tail cap. I like a clicky tail cap for an EDC light. I'm not gonna carry two lights. All right, I know one is none and two is one, so I probably should, but I know me, I'm just not going to. Right? So having a light that you can pop out and use, you know, whether it be for an extended period of time, if you're changing something, if you're looking for something, whatever, to be able to click on and click off that tail cap, I just like that. That's just my personal preference. It's nothing against that light. That light was excellent for a very specific niche. But I want a light that not just covers that niche, but a bunch of other little niches, if that makes any sense, okay? This light is pretty stinking bright. I mean, thankfully the lighting in here is actually working pretty well, and it's not blinding everything out. But I don't know if it's 1200 lumens or whatever it is, but it's a pretty freaking bright light, okay? And the nice thing about it is that you have your little adjuster on the side, right? You switch through your different modes. You can push this all day long. You can push it, you know, cycle through stuff, whatever, but it's not cycling through anything. It's not changing anything. You turn the light back on and it's on the last setting you set it on. That, to me, sets this little light apart from a bunch of other things. Because some people would say, oh, it's fine, it's great. I want to be able to do that so I can adjust it, you know, without having the light on. Well, then it doesn't really fit that niche as like a fighting light. Because what happens if it was in your pocket and it's on the dimmest, lowest setting, and you pull that light out to go identify something, you got 5 lumens, or what? This is a weak little sauce light, right? You know, on the lowest setting, which it should be. This is for like looking for little bitty stuff. You know, you don't want to wake everybody up, you know, or whatever. You don't need to blind yourself in your car or whatever. This is a nice little bit of light, right? But you don't want to bring that little bit of light out and try to use that when you're trying to like identify a moose or something, you know? You don't want that. You want this thing to be on the last setting you had it on. So to me, I will power this guy up and I'll make sure he's on the brightest setting, which I don't remember the exact lumens of it, but it's stinking bright. All right, so that's the Sofren SP31V 2.0. I hope I said that right. That's why I like this guy. And also, he uses rechargeable batteries. I like rechargeable batteries. This specific model does not charge like with a USB thing or whatever, but it uses these big old 18650 batteries. I don't know if I've ever actually had this guy die on me. I really don't think so. But I'll charge it maybe once a month, once every other week or something like that. Just if I think about it, I'll throw it on the charger. But I've never had it completely just like pucker out and die on me, I don't think. And I've carried this guy a lot. Like, I don't know how well the wear is showing up on there, but I carry this guy all the stinking time. So that's the light I carry. That's why I carry it. Let's go right pocket. I do live in the north now, so I do carry chapstick. I used to think people doing EDC videos and carrying chapstick were a little fruity. But you get up to where it's super, super dry, you need chapstick or your lips are going to dry up and fall off. And I don't really like that. I like to be able to use my lips. All right. Knives. I'm not a huge knife guy, but I will say this knife is actually pretty stinking cool. All right. I did not purchase this knife. This knife was given to me by some buddies of mine a couple years ago. I think 2 years ago. This is a Ravencrest Tactical or Ravencrest. I don't remember. I think it's just Ravencrest. This is one of these switchblade knife thingies, right? And I used to think these things were as gimmicky as all get out, completely useless. Imagine 14-year-old boy with cut-off sleeves and a bandana trying to be cool with his friends riding a bike. That's probably in the 80s or 90s or something. I don't think people do that nowadays anymore. But that's what comes to my mind whenever I'm thinking like switchblades, right? Well, in all honesty, once I got this thing and started using it, I started realizing how handy it was to have a one-handed open and close knife, right? You get a big old package, you're carrying something, and you need to use a knife to open a letter, a box, cut some string, whatever. You can do it all with your one hand and have this arm completely occupied. You can do that with a folding knife too, right? You can just do the little pushover thing, whatever those things are called, but the lock on a folding knife. You can do that, it's fine. But it's a lot easier, and it's a lot more fun, honestly, to do that with one of these knives. I've never had this guy break on me. I did have a screw fall out after I've had this thing, like I said, for about 2 years. Screw finally fell out, and I was fixing to get ready to get a hold of Ravencrest, and I found it sitting like on the garage floor. Like, of all places, of all random times, I found it, put it back in. Other than that, this thing's never had any problems really at all. It's a great little knife, and the warranty on these things is freaking amazing. If you break it, they're gonna fix it, and they kind of taunt you to break it in a way. All right, in my left pocket, I carry these little guys, this little thing. I'm a big advocate. I love the Neomag. These guys, y'all are geniuses, man. All right, you have like, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. 7 simple little pieces: a bent piece of metal, flat piece of metal, a couple screws, a clip, and a little rubber grommet thingy on the back so it doesn't wear a hole in anything or make a bunch of noise, and then or it grips your pocket, and then a magnet, the magnet, right? The magnet. This is genius. This is amazing. If you carry a gun, I highly recommend this. This is the easiest way, besides having, like, you know, in your Kydex holster or whatever kind of thing. This is an easy way to carry that third magazine that most people just aren't going to carry because it's just overkill. They think, why would I need that? Why am I going to do that? Most of the time people don't need it, and most of the time it would be overkill. Maybe, I don't know. But to me, I like having this extra magazine because it's just always there. I've never had this thing accidentally like come out. It just does what it needs to do. And with that, I carry, these are S15 magazines because I carry a 48. Talk about that in just a second. But these S15 magazines, I've run these things through classes, legit classes, right? Less legit classes, however you want to say it. I've done a bunch of different stuff for these magazines. And yes, I have had failures. But yes, I have had failures with Glocks. I've had Glocks, OEM Glocks, blow their springs up on me. Shooting factory ammo, factory stuff, whatever. Stuff will fail. But if you've seen my torture tests on these things, you'll know I'm not gentle on these magazines. These things have held up and these things work. So I trust these things very much, right? I carry them. I can't give anything a higher write-off or bill of endorsement than me actually carrying it. Whether that be Sofrin, right? I actually carry this all the freaking time. Ravencrest, Apple, I guess, I don't know. Or these things, Neomag and S15s, dude. These things work. For me, they work. For you, I don't know. But for me, I trust them, I like them, I use them. That's the main stuff. I guess this would be one small nerdy piece of me, whatever. But I like the John Wick videos. Who doesn't? I don't know. I'm sure some people don't. I don't think my wife really understands it. But I carry one of these little guys just because I have some and I really like them. These are little Continental coins. I'm not baller enough or brave enough, whatever you want to say it, to actually get a gold one and actually carry that thing around. I don't do that. So these are the silver ones. You can get them on APMEX. They have them, and I just got some of them. These are awesome. These are fun. I mean, if it was a lot more, if it wasn't as expensive, they're like $30 or something like that if you get them right now. I think when I got them, they were more like 25 or something like that. These are fun. If, like, as a little gift to somebody, that's a cool little thing, especially if they get it, right? I gave these to a friend of mine once, and he didn't have a clue what it was. And, like, it was lost on him, whatever. But then he ended up, you know, another friend of mine told him what it was, and he's like, oh, okay, that's really cool. So if you see this video, you know who you are, and I know who you are too. Anyway, I like these things, so I just carry that just for kicks and giggles. All right, so the last thing, last but not least, let's talk about the gun, all right? This is my Glock 48 2.0. That's what I've been calling it. I'll keep calling it that. This whole thing rides in a spider concealment appendix rig, right? And I've done 2 little modifications. One, hear that? I bent the, you probably can see that, maybe, I don't know. But I bent the Kydex a little bit so that these S15 magazines would have some retention, right? If you just pull straight up, they don't want to come out. If you bend it a little bit like I just did, you kind of turn it into itself, they'll come right out. But it has enough stop to it to where these things won't just fall out. I never had a problem with them coming out before, per se. But I didn't want just a tension fit, just tension. I liked having something to actually kind of stop it, all right? And to defeat that, you just twist in on yourself just a smidge and it'll come right out. So this, again, is another S15 magazine. This guy's got some rust on it. You can probably see that pretty well on there. I'm not gentle on my stuff. I let them do what they're gonna do. They're gonna go through their natural lifespan. And this is one I've done on before. I did a video on this guy before. I put the micro slick on it. I need to reapply that. It's wearing off this guy, and this guy needs to have that done because he's getting rusty. But the magazines themselves still work, do their thing. These +5 extensions are amazing. They do what they're supposed to do. The gun itself is loaded. This is this is my Glock 48, and I call it my 2.0 because it's the original frame, right? But I put a Kaplan slide in here. This has got a Brownells barrel, threaded barrel. I use the Griffin Armament cam lock because sometimes I run it suppressed. I don't carry it suppressed right now, but I like to be able to run it suppressed, and that cam lock does an amazing job of almost like a QD for pistol suppressors. The sights are Suarez or lower co-witness sights. I like those. They line up very, very, very well with my Holosun 507K. I really, really like it. I have some extended slide catch on here and a steel, not aluminum. The aluminums will wear out on you, but the steel Tyrant Designs magazine release, okay? I did put an Apex trigger in here. It's a little bit smoother, flat face. I kind of like it. Haven't done a review on it yet, still putting it through its paces. But I carry my nickel plated. If I can get more of these, I will just replace all my stuff with this, but the nickel plated is the way to go of these S15 magazines. That's just the way to go. All right, guys, my battery died on me, so I'm not sure exactly where I left off on this thing, but I believe I was talking about carrying one in the chamber or not carrying one in the chamber. I am a person that subscribes to carrying one in the chamber, all right? For this simple reason, if I ever get in an accident, I'm not gonna bust out my phone and try to call my insurance company and try to get an article written up, right, to get some insurance on the spot amidst an incident. Right? Like I lose control of the vehicle as I'm spinning into the guardrail. I'm not going to call my insurance company up and be like, hey, I need to up my coverage on my vehicle. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. It's too late. When you need it, you need it. When you don't need it, just like a gun, just like insurance. On an insurance, you're probably griping and complaining. You know, your premiums are too high. You're whatever. You're paying for all this stuff. With a gun, you're like, man, this thing's heavy. I don't want to carry this whole thing. This guy sticks out. You know, I have to wear a big old belt and yada, 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 yada. But then when you need it with the insurance company and you're like, oh, I'm so glad I was paying that stuff. Man, yeah, I didn't know I had cancer, right? Or something weird or whatever. I had an accident. My car got totaled and it was a brand new car. I'm so glad I had insurance, right? And it was able to cover this stuff and I wasn't out on the street because I couldn't pay for this stuff. Same thing with a gun. When you need the gun, right? You're not going to be like, oh, I'm so glad I carry this little bitty pocket rocket that didn't do anything and the bear ate me. No, you're like, I'm glad I was carrying a freaking real gun that was able to do business and do what it needed to do. You'll be glad then, right? That's my ideology on this. Hopefully I didn't make everybody mad, but that's how I feel about it. And everybody, you know, other people's opinions can vary, and that's fine. We live in America, free country. Your opinion doesn't have to match my opinion. Perfectly fine. We can agree to disagree, and I'm totally cool with that. All right. The most people that I've ever heard that say that they prefer the Israeli carry is because it is called the Israeli carry. They'll reference the fact that Israel's, this nation that's in perpetual war, which they are. And yes, they have a lot of military. Yes, they have a great, wonderful military, all this different kind of stuff. But when you look at the articles and watch the videos from the people there, right? I don't remember which articles and which videos I've ever read, so you have to either take my word for it or go out and study it yourself, right? Be a Berean. Go figure it out yourself. But my understanding of all that is the reason they do that is because it's a people's army. There's so many people there, and they're not all at the same level of training. They're just not. It's not feasible. They're not going to do that. They're higher trained individuals. Yeah, they carry loaded guns, right? I'm sure somebody's going to call me out on that, but that's my understanding of it. Here in the United States, yeah, if you're Joe Schmo and you never had any formal training, I could totally understand you not carrying that gun loaded, right? Magazine in the gun, chamber empty, because you're like, man, I don't know. I totally get that. That's cool. That's cool. At least you're carrying the gun. Now get out there and go find a training class. Go learn about your gun. Not just like learn how to pull the trigger on the gun. Go learn about the firearm. Me knowing that this gun sitting here in this holster cannot just go off by itself. It can't. It literally just can't do that. The firing pin isn't under tension. It's got actual physical material blocks, that are blocking the firing pin from going down the channel. It can't just go off. It literally can't do that, right? That's why I like Glock. It has no extra safety on the outside like a 1911, some switch or something you got to push. It doesn't have that. And even if it did, I wouldn't like that, right? That's why I don't carry an M&P. There was a time in my life when I considered switching over there, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. I like the Glocks. I like the way that they work. And I do like the fact that they are very safe in and of themselves, but whenever people touch them, that's whenever they start to have a problem. That's why this thing could technically be pointed wherever, because it's enclosed up. It doesn't do anything. Whenever I stop touching it, it could be pointed wherever. If I'm touching it moving around, ooh, you gotta be careful. Rabbit trail, getting off on a different thing like there. But what I'm saying is with the guns, I carry them loaded. I'm not going to say that I am the complete expert on everything. Obviously, everybody has accidents. The more that you're around something, the more that you're going to have accidents. But for me, even with my accidents and things that I've gone through, I carry one loaded and in the chamber. All right, that was a huge portion of this video. I probably way blew that out of proportion. Didn't need to be that complicated, but I just want to throw that stuff out there. All right, that's what I'm carrying in 2021. Stuff that might possibly change is Streamlight. Thankfully, finally, at least they released it. I haven't seen one in the wild yet. I have a pre-order in on their TLR7A sub. So they have a little flashlight, right, that's going to fit on the rail of a 48 or 43X MOS, right? 48 MOS or 43X MOS. I have one of those guns, and I do have, actually I have it right here. I have it right here. This guy's not loaded because he's not a carry gun right now. But as you can see, we have a rail on this guy, right? This is a little bitty rail, and the new Streamlight should fit right on there. That's the whole, it's made for this gun. It should be a beautiful thing. 500 lumens, this is what they say it's advertised as. Small little guy. That, honestly, will become my new EDC gun whenever that light finally comes in, right? I will probably end up taking that frame off and putting this slide on that frame because I like this slide. I like the Holosun. I like the way that this gun's set up. But I like that frame better because it's got a rail. And especially if it's got a light, then to me, that's going to be the ultimate, for certain situations, the ultimate concealed carry pistol, right? There are other pistols out there for different things. I live up here in the north now, so we got some bigger problems, bigger things to worry about. So I might change some stuff up anyway. But anyway, guys, if you have any questions about this stuff, please let me know. Trying to think if there's anything that I didn't mention. Ammunition, these are Federal HSTs, 124 grain. I don't think they're the Plus P Plus or anything special, but I like these things. They do business. They do what they're supposed to do. It's just good ammo. I was able to get a deal on it back in the day, and at some point I'm going to end up cycling through it and have to find something else. Something I know I'm lacking on is medical gear, and to help combat that, really, I do have one of these Warrior Poet Society, these ankle glove med kit things. Right now it's just a little bit too big for me. I need to kind of work it down a little bit. I don't know, it's probably blasphemy. I don't really like the size of this catch tourniquet. I really don't. Maybe I'm just being a pansy about it. I don't know. But I like the Rats tourniquet. It's basically a big old bungee. As far as I know, it cuts off circulation just as well. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe there's certain reasons that they use these things instead of those. I don't know. But if I was able to cut this guy out and put the Rats tourniquet instead of the Cats tourniquet, I think I could manage this a little bit better. I don't wear tight jeans or tight pants. I wear those. Generally, I wear those Wrangler stretchy-ish kind of pants that you can get at Walmart and stuff like that. I've worn those a lot, and this guy's just a little bit too bulky for those pants, right? Again, they're not tight pants, but they're, I don't know. I just don't like the bulkiness of this. If I could get rid of that, which I can, I just need to get a Rats tourniquet, I think it'd fit a lot better. And this, to me, like, this would fix a lot of problems. This would give me, at least I would have some kind of medical on me. I like the idea of having an ankle thing because I used to carry an ankle glove, right? My Glock 27, I used to carry that in an ankle glove. Wore that thing completely out, carried it for years, loved it. It was the easiest, laziest way to carry a firearm for me, and that's why I ended up wearing it out. But I never replaced it because I started going with the 48s and stuff like that. But having something strapped to your ankle, it's just a super, super easy way to have something on you. So I like this idea, and I'm playing around with this. So hopefully later on this year, as we continue on and I get this stuff worked out, hopefully it will work its way into me actually carrying it every day. Because right now I'm not, but I know I should. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna shut up. I think really that's it. Yeah, if you have any questions about this stuff, let me know. And yeah, I look forward to seeing whatever 2022 brings. Who knows? Maybe I'll be carrying, like, you know, machetes and stuff. No, I don't think so. All right, I'm done. Y'all be good to be safe, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next video. All right, bonus footage. I was actually putting away the stuff, getting everything put away, and then I realized, oh yeah, I was going to show this. So I do like the Tactician Light, right? The Tactician Light is phenomenal, right, for fighting. And what better gun, like it's fighting with a pistol, right? Because on a rifle you have a rifle light, or you should. On a pistol, if you don't have a pistol light, that's what that light was designed for, right? Okay, I'm trying to make a point here. This is a PCC, right? This is a 9mm MP5, so basically a glorified 9mm, right? It's just easier to shoot, pretty much. And guess what I did? I took the Scout Light that I have. I put the the Tactician head bezel basically on here. So now, yes, I still use the Tactician, and I use it technically as like a fighting light because it's now on this gun, which is used in the same situations you would be able to use a pistol. Pretty much. This thing can sit by the bed. It can do its work. Has a very wide throw, so you can see what you need to see. It's not a long-range gun, so it doesn't have a tight beam that reaches further out. So see, I don't just trash stuff and be like, it's just trash, I'm not going to use it. No, and it's not trash. It's for specific purposes, specific things. And for me, the Tactician fills this role a lot better for me than an EDC light. So I'll continue to carry my cheap $30 whatever Sofrin light, whereas I still have some nice other things. I still use them, and they fill their role a lot better. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Anyway, enjoy.